should say live. Oh, this hangout on air is live. Okay, so nobody's going to be here right now. They're all going to be like, "Hey, what's going on?" But whatever, is what it is. All right.
Okay,
So
should I tell them to switch to this one or? Okay, let me tell them.
yeah, we switched to a Google Hangouts.
Wait, your other one is not showing now. What the hell?
Yeah, because I closed it, so it's no big deal. People either see it or they won't. It's
Okay.
not that big a deal.
Podcast. All right, let me just make sure audio is working. Okay, I can hear you. We can hear each other. We're good.
That's fantastic. Okay, so we're not going to be able to be seen at quite the same time. So yeah, whenever one of us is talking, that's when we'll be heard.
Okay.
Anyway, all right, guys. And we're going to try this again. Love Letter to a Superman podcast number 25. We got Lewis from the Geek Fortress over here.
What's up, guys?
And you can find Geek Fortress on Facebook and on YouTube. Sorry, I'm really flustered right now. All that nonsense that we just went through, that somehow nobody could hear me before, that was really annoying. So yeah, I'm a little bugged by that still. Plus, I'm still working on zero sleep because of well, not zero, but almost no sleep because of watching Wonder Woman. So yeah,
totally worth it.
Not a big deal. It was worth it. It was totally worth it. Is that what you just said? Is worth it?
Yep, that's what I just said, my friend.
Yes. It absolutely was. How would you know, though? You're going by what I said.
Well, just because, I mean, I just read little things here and there, like no spoilers, and everybody's just praising it. So
that's the thing. When you find nothing bad, being said about it, yeah, that's a serious thing. So, some people feel about it, whatever, but I personally thought it was just an absolutely fantastic freaking film, and yeah.
Nice.
I'm not going to go too into it right now, but I will say that, just mind you, just because this was good doesn't mean that DC Universe is saved all of a sudden. Every single movie still has to be on a case by case by case basis. So
I know.
Yeah. All I know is that this movie was good. So take it for what it is. Anyway, so this particular podcast is titled Love Letter to Superman. The reason why we're doing this, guys, is because the last time Lewis and I completely bashing the Batman vs Superman BVS. It's just several scenes in there that were just, and there was no real continuity. It's like having the most brilliant molecule in the world, but the molecular bonds don't exist. So it's just free flowing, and it's like any one that you grab is awesome, but put them together and it's just a hot mess, dumpster fire. So yeah. And we know that, what was it, August 20th, Autumn Snyder, his daughter, 20 years old or so, she committed suicide. That happened. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for the family. Wish nothing but the best, and Lewis as well.
Yes.
But change what we said, because we never sat there and said like he's an idiot or he's stupid or he's we never did that. We did say that he was messing up the movies, and he was. Yeah. So the opinions don't change. We just add a whole lot of empathy and sympathy for his family.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully Justice League will be good. In the meantime, we're going to talk about Superman, actual Superman, not just on the big screen, not just whatever, but like more specifically in the comics, but in a format that maybe more people can be familiar with, the movie Superman versus the Elite. This was...
This right here.
That right there. Talk again so they can see it.
Hello, guys. Do
you guys know why I like Lewis so much?
That was a SpongeBob reference, by the way, for those of you guys who didn't get it, but I'll shut up now.
I used to watch SpongeBob with my daughters when they were younger.
Yeah, remember the Krabby Patty episode when they're going to tell you how they make it, and then they're showing the Krabby Patty, and it's like, beep, bop, beep, bop, beep, bop, beep, bop, beep, bop.
I do not remember that. I do remember the Krusty Krab training video. That's it.
That was it. The Krusty Krab training video.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah. Remember, they're zooming in and they're like, beep, bop, beep, bop, beep, bop, beep, bop, beep, bop, and then the guy's like,
I just don't remember that part.
Oh, that's all right. I'll send you a link later so you can watch it because it's fun.
All right, is this a love letter, SpongeBob? What the heck are you doing here?
I'm sorry.
Oh, by the way, can you actually see me?
Yeah, I can see you on my phone. on my phone, I can see you, and I see a little tiny version of me in the bottom right corner. I'll call him Bobby.
Okay. Actually, when you're talking, you become the big one on the actual video. So there's
Well,
that.
that's what she said. Sorry.
The fact is, she did tell me that about you. No,
For those of you guys
anyway.
who are just joining us, welcome.
Welcome. Oh man. Anyway, yeah, Superman, guys, is, for crying out loud, he is the oldest superhero, like actual superhero, and
Yes, sir.
he's still relevant today. You know, like, I mean, there are several others like that too. There's Batman and all that stuff. So a lot of people might sit here and say, "Oh, well, there's Batman, there's Superman, you know, there's Wonder Woman, there's all these characters, Captain America, who came out way back in the day." Don't understand just how many characters there were. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, there's a lot of characters you guys have probably never heard of before. The original Daredevil? No, not the guy in the red tights, not even his original costume. No, there was a guy called the Daredevil before that. There was all these characters that just, you know, the Shield, all these characters who are just lost in time at this point. Like, you know, I don't see them ever making a comeback. If they did, I'd be shocked and amazed. So the idea that the very first of them hit it so right that
Yeah.
they're still in existence, they're still all over the place like that. I mean, that's amazing. To me, that's amazing that Superman is still relevant to this day.
Yeah. And of course, for those of you guys who do not know, as per every success story, it always starts with people saying no to them. Joe Shuster, Jerry Siegel, they got rejected so many times, but they kept trying. So it's a clear example of keep following your dreams, keep doing what you do, and eventually the fish will bite.
Yeah, I mean, like, there is a lot of like, shoot, I'm something of a comic historian. I don't know if there's actually a degree that you can get for that, because if there
Dude,
were,
if
I would
there
go
is,
for it.
please let me know.
Right?
Please.
But like, we could go into the comic book history of
Yeah.
the making of Superman, for crying out loud.
Yeah, that
10-year
is.
journey. You know what I'm saying? Of these guys, immigrants coming over, how
Yeah.
it seemed like only Jewish people were working in the comics
Yep.
because that's the only publishing job that Jewish people could get, for
Yep.
crying out loud. Like,
Yeah.
there was just so much discrimination back then, you know? So, I mean,
Jewish
yeah,
immigrants.
it was a really horrible situation, but
Yep.
somehow it did wind up working. And then how they got completely screwed over, and
Oh yeah. And
yeah.
a little fast knowledge for those of you guys watching. Originally, the reign of the Superman was supposed to be a bad character, an evil character, kind of resembling the Lex Luthor persona. But then they switched
With
it
psychic
up.
Powers.
Yep. Yes, sir. So
Yeah, with psychic powers.
It's amazing how they switch, and we have what we have now today. It's a beautiful piece. I love it.
That's right. That's right. Totally cool. Also, how Wonder Woman mirrors Superman, you know what I'm saying, in so many different ways.
Yeah.
I actually get into that in my Steve Trevor Explain in a Minute video, just a minute to explain it. But yeah.
Because he takes the role of the damsel in distress, but he's the gentleman in distress.
Yeah, he takes the role of Lois Lane, basically.
Yes,
you
sir.
know? He's tougher, but still. Yeah, he's got to be rescued because he loves Wonder Woman, but he doesn't know who Diana Prince is, even though he works right next to her. So yeah, it's it's a funny thing.
That is.
But Superman in and of himself, guys, Superman is just a tenacious character. He survived the test of time. Guy's not going anywhere, and he is basically, he's become a Zeus character, and he could probably kick Zeus's butt in the comics. You know what I'm saying, just for the sake of conversation. But or at least in the DC universe. I don't know so much about the Marvel universe. That's a different kind of Zeus. That's a different kind of Zeus.
Yeah.
Not just that. But anyways,
well,
yes.
Yeah.
I would love to see that battle.
Marvel, if you're watching, make it happen now.
We can make it happen right now.
Let's go. No, actually, I don't know enough about the Zeus from Marvel for me to actually battle, to be honest.
It's no problem. Do you know the death battle between Hulk and, it was actually the death
Doomsday.
battle? thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was the no, it was the second most recent, the penultimate
Mhm.
video that I did. It was actually response to Death Battle. How
Mhm.
just this several things they got wrong, but most importantly, they got the whole healing factor of the Hulk wrong.
Mhm.
Because Zeus has, not only is he pure magic, but Zeus has the very specific ability of shutting down your powers. If he
No, there
hits
you
you,
go. That's it.
down your powers, and it's magical the way he does it. So Hulk couldn't heal. It wasn't that his
Wow.
his healing factor was overtaxed. No, 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 no. He actually shut down his healing factor. He shut down his adrenal glands. He shut down, and he was just stuck. He couldn't even revert back to Banner. He was just stuck, that like that, dying, and Zeus wouldn't have let him die. So on top of that, he's pure magic to boot. I don't know that Superman would be able to take
I
him
don't
out,
think so. I don't think,
but
especially because the problem with Superman sometimes is that he relies a lot on his strength rather than think a little. And I feel like he would take a blow first and be like, okay, I can take it or I can't take it. Especially New 52 Superman, who I hate with a passion. But
yeah, me too.
think back to the Doomsday battle back in the 90s. Superman, after he came back, he's like, you know what? I rely too much on my strength. And I forgot that I
Yeah,
have heat vision. I'm super fast. I have
yeah, Hunter
freaking,
Prey. Hunter Prey, one of the
yeah,
best
yeah.
comics you're going to find out there. One of the best trade
Amazing,
paperbacks.
amazing, amazing.
Just TPB that, because it is
Yeah,
that good. But
yeah.
on top of that, no, I think about what do you call it? The very recent. It was an Action Comics and Superman crossover event, a 4-issue crossover between
Mhm,
these two Superman comics,
mhm.
where Superman has the conversation with Lois. They're trying to find out who Clark is, who this Clark of this world is.
Mhm.
Saying it's Kurt Rebirth. Have you read that yet?
The crossover? No, I have not.
It's the one where Mr. Missia Spitlick is there.
Ooh, okay, I'm in.
Really? Okay, this was about a month ago.
Really?
I reviewed it. Basically,
If I
there's
don't find them
there's
today at
Superman
the
is
comic
back.
book store, I'm gonna watch your reviews. You said what is it called again?
Okay, I can't remember right now which crossovers it is, but or excuse me,
Okay,
which issues it is. But it's 2 issues of Action, 2 issues of Superman, and
okay.
they cross over with each other. It's
I'll look it
actually
up.
it's actually you're looking at you were just talking to me before about the Doomsday Clock, the Superman Doomsday Clock,
Hmm.
which I'm expecting is going to be Superman Prime. That's my that's my
Oh,
prediction. I've mentioned it
oh,
several times, right? Like
yeah.
everybody's saying, "Oh, it's going to be Doctor Manhattan." No, I think it's going to be Superman Prime. That's what I think.
That's smart. I like that.
Mr. Manhattan might come and save the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's my take on it. But regardless, Superman is the only character in the DC universe now who is complete. He's already combined because of this storyline. He combined his post-crisis Superman self, which is the rebirth
Hmm.
Superman that we've been reading. He combined post-crisis with the New 52. They actually combined. They merged in that one. We thought it was going to be Superman Red and Superman Blue. Nope, they actually just merged, and now he is the original Superman. He is the rebirth character of Superman. So
Oh my God. Why haven't I read
him,
this?
I know, right? Him and all
Holy
the
shit.
people immediately close to him, now their entire origin has changed. They had to do 2 issues worth of an origin story to put in place what is and what is not canon right now.
Okay.
So we're still up in the air about Lex Luthor. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? You look at the Trinity comics and what's happening there, because he is still Super Lex, which is
Hmm.
odd, but he's not. We don't know if he's actually a friend.
Hold up a
Wow, New
second.
Jersey
I
just
have
had
some
a
technical
New Jersey just
difficulties.
had an earthquake. That's terrible. Out to the people of my home state.
Perks of having a cat. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's your cat.
Yeah.
My cat knows better.
He just ran. He's still a kitten, so he just ran past my laptop and
Yeah.
destroyed everything.
I didn't even see a blur of fur, man. That's great.
Oh, that's how fast he is. Go in the room. Go with
He's
mommy.
got the speed force. Holy crap.
Go with mommy. Go, 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 go. All right. Sorry about that.
It's all good. It's all good. So anyway, we are actually live though, right?
Yeah, we are live.
Okay,
We are
cool,
live.
cool. Anyway, so this is the first time me actually using Google Hangouts to have a conversation. Besides that first time that you and I had an interview, and a couple other
Hmm.
times, I switched to a different system, and now I have to work out the sound, why my sound isn't resonating over there at this point. But it's always worked before, and for some reason this time it's just not.
It's
Whatever, I
one of
got to
those
figure that
days.
out.
It's one of those
It
days.
is one of those days. Plus, I'm too tired to figure that
Yeah.
stuff out right now. So it's what
Hey,
it is.
Murphy's Law, bro. Murphy's Law. Don't worry about
Freaking Murphy. I just wanted to like uppercut him. Just give him a little rabbit punch.
it. For real, right?
Right? And I am part Irish, so go figure.
Okay, there you go. So it's your fault.
So, I guess it is. I'll take it. I'll take it. So crying out loud, man. Anyway, so these two combined, and now he's trying to have this conversation with Batman and Wonder Woman in the Trinity comics, and trying to get them going. Hey, Lavoyer is there. Sounds good. Sounds fine. Good Saturday, you guys. Thanks, Bird. I appreciate that, man. Nerdicky was just here, and and then my video screwed up. So maybe Dave will be back. Anyway, gotta try to wrap this up before 12. Or actually, I wonder, are they starting at 12 or at 2? Either way, I want to go watch their podcast. I always watch their Saturday
Hmm.
podcast. I watch their weekly podcasts. Anyway, and guys, don't forget you can check out Nerdicky, especially on Thursdays and Fridays at 12 o'clock New York time, Eastern Standard Time, because I run a game for them on Thursday, a Marvel Superheroes role-playing game, and I play in a game. It's a steampunk game with Open Legend, sponsored by Open Legend. I don't get paid for that. I think they do. On Fridays at the exact same time, 12 o'clock. So, and you want to watch their other 3 podcasts. They do a live podcast every single time. Hey, Nerdicky is here. What's up, Dave? I was just plugging you. I was just plugging you. So,
What's up, Nerdicky?
wrap it up like a.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, Dave, what time is your podcast? Because I'm not trying to overlap you at all. So anyway, bang with this, it is actually making it so that we can see so that we could see that it is now the Rebirth Superman. We know that Hawkman is going to be returning, and I think it's called Metal, right?
Hmm.
Metal going to be the main character there. Hopefully, he gets worked out too. I believe that's where the Joker comes back
Oh
because
boy,
we haven't
which
seen
one?
Joker. I know there's 3 Jokers
Yeah,
now, right? But is that even still valid? Because that
I
was
don't know.
post-crisis.
Yeah, unless
That
they
wasn't
pulled the
even.
whole day fuse also somehow. We're throwing some
Oh,
Dragon Ball Z elements over here.
Nerdicky's doing their live podcast at 2. Awesome, guys. All right, so um, we yeah, so we're going to see a whole bunch of things there. So when Hawkman comes back, we're actually going to be able to see the rebirth Hawkman. Who else are they doing right now? They're trying to get a couple other characters to be rebirthed also, and it's happening slowly. And I love the way it's very organic the way that's happening, where they're combining those missing 5 years from rebirth with what's currently happening now. And there might be another 5 years that they're talking about also, which is sickly insane. So we'll see what happens there. But in the meantime, so guys, Superman. Tell me something, Lewis.
What's up?
Love about Superman.
Oh, what don't I love about that sexy bastard? Okay, so
Wow.
where do I start? No, I personally like, and this is one of the things that I always talk to people when people are like, "Oh, Superman's overrated, he's overpowered, blah blah blah," and I tell them, imagine yourself as a teenage boy having the power to crush any bully who f's with you, and having the willpower not to do anything about it. I just throw that in their mind, and I said to them,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Spider-Man growing up with
That's
Flash
why
Thompson.
that's why Spider-Man is one of my favorites on Marvel as well. It's just I like the whole idea of having self-control, self-discipline, but in the background knowing that I could destroy your life. Like not exactly in that
That says a
way.
lot about you.
Yeah, right. Not exactly in that way, but you know what I mean? It's the fact that he had to adapt to a world that wasn't his. He never saw his world, so this was always his home. And that's where the ultimate immigrant thing comes as
Professor Bill
well,
High School.
Yeah, exactly. So He goes through that. That's why I enjoy the show Smallville. I think they did a good portrayal of how his high school years were. You know, like developing powers while
Yeah.
being in love with Lana Lang. Give me a break. You know, it's like,
Yeah, I wasn't so happy with the way that ended necessarily. Like
oh
the
yeah,
last couple of seasons weren't so great. I did like seeing
yeah,
Hawkman show up. I've just got the thing for Hawkman. I remember I was a kid and I saw it was the first comic book that I ever bought with my own money that I earned.
hmm
I saw it on this was before there were comic book stores.
hmm
It was on a rack in a drugstore. It had the barcode on it as opposed to a character's silhouetted face or something like
yeah,
that on it. And I just remember Hawkman Shadow Wars issue number 1 of 4 limited miniseries, and I just thought that is the coolest character ever. And I've seen him on
nice.
the Challenges, Super Friends, and all that stuff, and I bought it, and it was the next 3 issues weren't so great. Was amazing, and I just thought, wow. So, but this isn't a love letter to Hawkman. I'm going to do that one of these days. I'm actually a
I'm in
member
for
of
that one too.
nice, yeah, because that's amazing. And maybe we can try and clear up the most convoluted character in the history of comic books ever, because that's exactly who he is.
No.
Yeah, here's the thing about Soups. All right, the Man of Steel. This guy, freaking, he shows up on the planet. Never seen his planet before. Now, Martian Manhunter did see his planet.
Yeah.
He did know what was up with Mars. He was there for the invasion of the White Martians. You know what I'm saying? Well,
Yep.
who hated the Green Martians, like Martian Manhunter, John Johns. Saying so very similar there, and he is completely alone now. Meanwhile, Superman has Kara. He has what do you call it? Kandor, the city in a bottle. You know what I'm saying? And all those guys, plus the Daxamites, who are almost the exact same to begin with.
Yep.
But for the most part, it's the idea of he is kind of isolated. There is only but so much that he can do. Well, that was in the past. Now, no, we have lives. I don't know how to respond to that. I don't know what had just happened. Oh, he has crypto.
He does
yes,
have
he has
crypto. Very good
He has
point.
crypto.
I would love a crypto.
I would love to have a crypto, right?
Yeah.
I'd ride him into battle.
Hell yeah!
My feet would be dragging, like my knees would be dragging for crying out loud.
Can you
I would
imagine
totally have a
taking him
crypto.
out for a walk? Like when he drops a poopy, it's super heavy. I know. It's like, wow, all these questions. What are you doing to us, man? No.
But Superman really is like essentially the ultimate immigrant, which is I know one of the main reasons why you love him so much.
Yes, sir.
So okay, so you got Superman, and he's got this code about him. Now,
Yeah.
almost every single Elseworlds comic, I'm going to subtract Kingdom Come from that, of course.
Okay.
But anybody who doesn't know, an Elseworlds comic is the DC version of Marvel's What If comic.
Yep.
So it's not canon.
Correct.
With Superman, any of the Elseworlds comics that they put him in, for the most part, they always make him evil.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, right?
Yeah,
like
no,
you got
correct.
Red Superman, right?
Yeah.
When he lands in Russia instead, right? You
Yep,
got
Red Sun.
Red Sun Superman. You got what's his name? Right? That version of
Yeah,
Superman.
that's right. Because
You
he
know,
works with the
he's a
government
freaking
and everything.
fascist.
Yeah.
You know, like all these different versions of Superman, they always make him bad. The Injustice Society. Injustice alone.
Injustice. I think Injustice alone is probably the one when he's the biggest dick. Like, I've never hated.
Yeah, literally just killing his friends because they don't agree with him.
Much. Like the way he kills. Spoiler alert, guys! If you guys haven't read the comic books or you guys are waiting, the way he kills. Here it comes. Green Arrow, and also how he kills Shazam in the first game. He just like, boom, like you know what I'm talking about.
You see what the Warrior just put in?
Let me see. Son of Darkseid Superman. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so the majority of what makes, and here's a really big kicker, all right?
Mm-hmm.
The majority of what seems to make Superman is his parents.
Yes.
Like, that's the thing. It's his parents. Mm-hmm. If you don't like Man of Steel and BVS, like we don't, his parents, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
You know, well, maybe you should just let people die. I don't know. You don't owe anything to anybody.
Yeah.
It's no wonder he's an ass. It's no wonder people hate that version of Superman. His parents
Yep.
were dicks. So that's the
Yep.
thing that that's one of the things. Like it's a parent story. It's a mom and dad story.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The only reason why he's as good as he is because of his parents.
Yep.
Like that's it. So like I always say, and his relationship with his mom is something, but his relationship with his dad is also something. And I always say, if a girl wants to see, like if ladies out there, if you've got a man and he's not crying, all right, like he won't show any kind of emotion or anything like that, listen, this is a very simple fix. It's easier than you think. I don't care if he's got the best relationship in the world with his father or the worst relationship in the world with his father. If he never met his father, anything. You show a movie about a father-son relationship to a man, he'll cry. I promise you.
Yeah.
Raging Bull. Just put that on.
You're 100% correct. And I think there's a lot of us who can relate to that, to like no father, like almost not all the time their father thing. And you're right. That's a very touchy thing for a lot of us.
Yeah, like the measure of a man, like a father, like studying psychology. You said you studied some psychology too. Saying I love psychology, and I never finished my degree in psychology. I switched everything over to sociology instead.
Mm-hmm.
But I should just get a subscription. I say it all the time. I should just get a subscription to Psychology Today because I'm constantly buying the freaking issues. You know what I'm saying? But
nice.
Yeah, but like I know that the relationship between a father and the daughter that's where a woman gets her confidence from and her self-esteem, her sense of self-worth. But the relationship between a father and son, greater. You know what I'm saying? Because the mother's love is what do you call it? Is unconditional. You know what I'm saying? A mother will love you. I bet you Lee Harvey Oswald's mother still loves him. You know what I'm saying? If she were alive.
Yes.
Him. You know what I'm saying? You killed the president of the United States, one of the most beloved presidents ever. You're still my son, and I still love you. You know what I'm saying? The father's like, you an ass. You an ass, man. All right? Like, earn my love. You know what I'm saying? Like, a father's love is conditional. You know what I'm saying? And he may give it easily. He may withhold it, whatever, but it is conditional. And we're always trying to live up to that expectation of your father. Just look at our current president. He's still trying to live up to his father's expectations. I mean, like, that's what he does. Just us being from New Jersey and New York City, we know the guy. You know what I'm saying? That's all he ever does. But the idea here is, and I don't mean to get too political, like, but
yeah, I got
like real talk. This freaking, this guy, Superman, like everything about him that we love is because of his parents, and specifically his parents on Earth, but also the love that his Klingons don't have tear ducts. That just means that the tears would go everwhere.
Yeah,
don't have tear
glands. Does that mean they sweat tears?
What do you call it? No, it just means that the tears all over the place. The duct is just like the gutter for the eyes. But freaking A, man, let me tell you something. The idea that you have, I'm about to say Klingons. Damn it, Dave. Freaking nerdicky, man. But the idea that you have this guy who shows up, what do you call it? And he's got the, okay, the idea that he shows up on Earth because his father and his mother loved him so much that they were willing to self-sacrifice and say, you know what? We've only got room for one. We want our son. We want our future to survive. Something left over from this planet. This is our son. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can imagine how hard that would be. Even though that this freaking guy, he could die out there. He's definitely going to die here. At least he's got a chance. So they were able to do that for him. They knew this was going to happen, and they said, you know what? We've only got time to build a rocket ship. And there's multiple different versions of this origin story, but we've only got time to build this one rocket ship, so we're going to put our son in it.
Very, like that's the comparison to the whole Moses on the river thing. Like, very, like, if you want to get technical, that's I actually read a whole paper about this because, like, I like comic books. I love comic books, but I also love the psychology and the whole interpretation and soliloquies in them, so I read deeply into them sometimes, and that's one of the things I love about them, like the whole last hope of Egypt, last hope of Krypton kind of thing. But it's just something nice that I really enjoy in comic books. But sorry, I interrupted.
No, absolutely. No, it's fine. They've actually got those psychology of certain superheroes or teams And
Yep.
I like reading those.
Yep.
I
Yep.
haven't read
Yep.
them all. Actually haven't even thought about them in a long time. I got to go back and start looking up which ones have they
Dude,
come out
my
with lately.
favorite one is the Batman one, the whole Joker
Yes.
Batman relation. Dude, okay, we'll talk about, because we can get into really deep detail on that, and that could be a podcast on its own. So let's just put a pin on it right now, because I could go all day.
Love letter to Superman, my man.
Exactly,
So,
exactly. So back to Kal-El.
so good. I'm talking too much. Go ahead.
No, but yeah, I mean, one of the things that I enjoy the most, going back to Superman, going back to the whole parent relationship that you were mentioning. Yes, I mean, he is raised in Smallville, Kansas. Like, you would think, like, this so powerful character, if he were to fall in the wrong hands, like the Red Sun storyline, if he were to be created or raised in a wrong way, kind of like Ultraman from another
Or
Earth,
just
and
look
he
at the New 52,
exactly,
the Flashpoint
exactly,
specifically version.
exactly. He was found by the government. They put him away. He never saw sunlight. He was this skinny version of Superman
He was
that never saw the
emaciated, yeah.
sun. Yeah, exactly. So, and the whole everything, like, even though it's a comic book, all the cosmic things that had to happen in order for him to land in Kansas and everything, it's a beautiful thing. That's why, like, in Smallville, going back, I'm going to refer to Smallville a lot because I really enjoy that show. They make the whole thing that apparently, like, Jor-El actually went to Earth first and he chose the Kans, blah blah blah. That's a long shot, granted, but I like that
Yeah.
they were like, okay, so they wanted something good for Kal-El. But with that aside, the whole fact that they took you're right. You don't know if the ship is gonna get hit, if something's gonna happen, and the person's gonna get
Look what happened to Kara.
Supergirl. Exactly. That was gonna be my next point. I mean, look,
Ah,
one wrong calculation, and she ended up frozen in space, and she's found years later, and she's younger than Clark. Even though she was
yeah,
older.
in some stories, she actually winds up going through the Phantom Zone.
Exactly. So it's those things that, and him growing up, going back to the whole thing. He was little Clark Kent, and he was the oddball in the high school, probably, and then people picked on him in
Yeah,
this, but he never hurt anybody. He knew, because why? He had the values from Pa and Ma Kent, and that's one of those
that's
things
right.
that you cannot take away from him. Like, he could be, quote unquote, a god, but he's humble.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
humble, and he will never hurt anybody. Which brings us to Superman versus the Elite.
Nice
Um,
segue.
thank you for
Also, the
those.
Solstice Soldier, Lavoyer just called him that. I don't know why they don't use that name. That's actually pretty cool.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So,
I might have to copy
also,
that.
right?
Yeah.
So this is going to get into it, and I do want to first. You did already reference, and clearly this is going to be referenced again, that Superman is overpowered.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Yes.
like
Yes.
here's
Yes.
the thing: whenever people are like, "Oh, I don't like Superman because he's overpowered," okay, so is God. And yet God allows all
But
sorts of things to happen on this earth, right? He allowed Hitler for crying out loud, you know.
yeah. Yep.
So like I hear you, I hear the argument, and it's a very valid argument. At the same time, you make someone so reading the chat, reading Lavorier. You take someone who is super powerful, like when the story is about the powers, I understand that you're worried that he's overpowered.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: when you're trying to tell an actual story, you don't want to always be burdened by, can he do this, can he do that? If you make the
Yeah.
story about, yes, he can do pretty much whatever the guy wants to do, whatever, like he's got the power of plot, like Batman's utility belt. Anything that he needs, it's in the belt. You know what I'm saying? He's got the prep time. He knows he already packed in advance. He's the ultimate Boy Scout. What do you call it? With Superman himself, you don't have to worry about him necessarily being beaten up. Maybe in one story where that's where they want to, explain, they'll have a character like Darkseid or, God forbid, Mongol, you know what I'm saying? Cyborg
Yep.
Superman. They'll have those powerful Eradicator level characters who could really do a number on him.
Yep.
But a lot of his stories are about, I don't have to worry about, can I beat this guy up or not? Yes, I could beat this guy up, but there's more emotional things there. There are more stories that actually grab your attention and make you realize that this is a story. Like, here's a freaking alien who came to Earth,
Yep.
and this is why you got to read Trinity. Trinity Annual #1, which I just reviewed. I just put the review up yesterday.
I'm picking that up later.
There's
I'm
a line.
excited about that.
There's a line in there that Batman says, which has been said multiple times before, but once in a while you have to throw that line back in there, that Superman is the alien that taught to be human.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I
You know what I'm
like
saying?
that a lot. Yep.
Like bang. The power, plot, stupidity are the biggest keys, live boy. Yeah. And Blubba Stud, what's up, buddy? Superman is the best thing coming out of Rebirth right now. Agreed and agreed. It's my favorite book right now. Never thought I would like it more than Green Lantern. See, that's the thing. Yeah, I love Green Lantern, but this really is good stuff. This is amazing stuff. And I like the Batman stuff also.
I like the whole Jessica Cruz view. I gotta say, I just gotta say that before I forget. I love her as a Green Lantern, and I'm liking that she's getting the spotlight. Simon, not so much. I never liked him, to be honest. Not because of his background or anything, just because I think he's trying too hard. I think he should just organically try to progress into. He's trying too hard to be like Hal Jordan. That's my opinion. Because he's trying to impress Hal Jordan, because Hal Jordan is their mentor. But I do like the fact that he doesn't give up. Right now, I feel like they're trying to push him down our throats a little. Kind of like Roman Reigns.
So,
yeah.
You did not just go there.
I went
there. Here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that, just slight sidetrack, do you think that that it's the writers doing that pushing thing on him, or do you think that it's that it's the writers trying to show that it's Simon trying too hard?
You know what? I think the latter. You're correct.
Okay. See, because if that's the case, then that's just the story, and I'm cool with him trying to impress. Hell, if you and I got a Green Lantern ring, you tell me what would we be trying to push?
Oh, hell yeah! I would be trying to
impress the hell out of Hal Jordan.
Well, I personally would try to impress Kilowog because I love Kilowog, but that's not here.
Damn you! Damn you! Because that's exactly what I was gonna say too. I'd be like, dude, what's up, man? Snort on me! Call me a poozer.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Hell yeah! No, but
recently that I'm probably going to drop a Marvel comic. I was thinking about dropping Legion. I expect him to show up in there anytime soon. That's why I said that. Generation X, because I'm not a fan of Generation X right now. I'm thinking about just dropping that and diverting those funds and start reading those. Start reviewing those comics because they are really good.
The Green Lantern Corps one, it's actually I like it a little better right now than the Green Lantern one.
Orbs. The P is silent.
Oh, hell yeah.
Say Marine Corps.
Green Lantern Corps. I'm sorry.
It's Marine Corps.
Hispanic. I'm Hispanic. I pronounce every letter.
I understand, but like you would never say Marine Corps because that means a dead Marine. So
well, the
Green Lantern Corps.
Okay, so the Green Lantern Corps.
And that's plural and singular.
Huh, nice. But anyways, what was I saying?
I have no idea.
Me neither. Let's cut to commercials. We'll be right back.
Right, anyway, so no paid advertisements there, buddy. But
that's okay. Stott, thank you. Stott agrees with me on the whole Simon thing, and like I was gonna say, I like him in Justice League of America, pre New 52. I actually knew 52 Justice League of America. I liked it with the whole vibe thing going on and Hawkman and everybody. And I enjoyed him a lot in there, but I think now they're trying to show us that he's really trying really hard. And Jessica Cruz, in my opinion, is doing it so organically that I just enjoy it. And she's gorgeous. That's just an extra. But like the whole him carrying a gun, it's like if I feel like as a Green Lantern, you have to trust your ring. You have to. Like, I don't know. I don't even understand why the Guardians are not like, okay, buddy, I don't think so. But hey, it is what it is. I kind of see why he's doing it. His background is a very rough background. I love. This is what I love the most. I love his religion, his background. He's Muslim, correct? Am I wrong? Yeah, I love that. I love that, and I think we need more of that in comic books because there is diversity, but at the same time, we're in such times where everything is racist. And
it's coming to the forefront a lot more. Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, and at the same time, you could argue that they're overdoing it, like with the whole gay angle. Like in every movie now, there's a gay character. I see why you're doing it, but don't do it too much. So same thing with the comic books. But in the thing here, I'm seeing that his background is something that they talk about, and I enjoy that because unfortunately, the Muslim religion is not viewed as the way it should be. And I know you can agree with that with me.
Yeah. Either way, I look at it as it was a really good character. The case of mistaken identity. I literally liken it to Luke Cage.
Hmm.
Case
Hmm.
of mistaken identity. Like in the comics specifically, it was more so. He went to jail because actually no, I think they did a very similar in the Netflix series. He went to jail for a crime that he didn't commit. He was framed by his
Yep.
brother. In the
Hmm.
comics, he was oh, why can't I remember his name? Willis Stryker. He wasn't Diamondback. There we go. Willis Stryker was not his brother in the comics. He was actually just his best friend he grew up with. He was good with knives, and Luke Cage was just good with the fists. So, but no, I do like the diversity in the comics. We do need more of it. This is a genre where we need to have more inclusion because
Yes.
otherwise comic sales aren't going to they're not going to continue. They're just going to keep on
Yes.
falling apart. So we
Yes.
don't we want more people to come into. It's the same thing that Nerdicky says all the time. We want more people coming into our hobby. We don't want our hobby to die. We don't want it to
Yeah.
become stagnant. We want to bring more people in.
Yeah, I would be so
You know,
upset if comic book
so
stores one day just disappear. I don't know how I could live with myself. Like even like bookstores,
yeah,
like Barnes and Noble and such, like Borders. You used to work at a Borders, remember? And now they're dead.
that's right.
They're dead.
Yeah,
And it's
it is what it is.
the
I
sanctity
blame
of
Kmart.
and yeah, the sanctity of the written word is such a beautiful thing, and some people just don't get it. And I just love
Well,
to read. I
that
love it.
feeling of opening a new book, that smell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right? You smell them
Just that
too?
smell.
Oh my god. Sorry, I got really excited about that. But it's
I think that most of us do,
oh
believe it or
my
not. Yeah, absolutely. I believe
yeah.
most of us do.
Oh, sorry about that. That little jump of burst of adrenaline.
It's all good, man. Enthusiasm. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah,
But
man. But hey, I just saw
like, yeah,
the Green Lantern corpse coming. Yeah, that would be a cool title for a
and I actually meant to type in there
Blackest Night. Blackest
Blackest
Night
Night
2.
2, but I hit shift, so it's at question
I
mark
got
instead
you.
of
I
two
got you. I know what
question
you meant.
marks.
I know what you meant.
Yeah. Ugh. Typing Nazi. Comic owner who looks like William Defoe and makes my day.
Oh
Ah,
my god,
nice.
take a picture. Take a
Take a
picture of
picture.
him, dude. And if you're not a
He's out
member
in
of
California.
oh dude, if you're not a member of the
Before
Geek
he ends up in
Fortress,
California.
find us, become a member of the Facebook page and put it on the Facebook page because everybody would love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's
But
awesome.
oh, and make sure there's a mirror right next to him so we can do the
All right.
Spider-Man thing.
Yes.
But no, real talk, man. Like you've got Superman. Let's see what exactly happened in the Elite
Okay.
to it.
All right, so a quick summary. The best way to put it is Superman is doing his thing. At this point in this time period, he's married to Lois
He's being
Lane.
super.
He's being super. He's on assignment on another country, and basically there's this new team of you don't know if they're heroes, you don't know if they're villains. They're just this. Let's call them metas. This new team of metas who have different powers, and the leader it's called Manchester Black, a British character almost like Constantine mixed with a bit of more of a magic showing, but kind of like I always get telepathy and the other one confused. Telepathy,
Telekinesis.
thank you, and telekinesis. So and Superman sees them work, and the way they work is not something that Superman is accustomed to, or not something that falls under his values, because they're okay with killing, which is one of the things that we'll always talk about Superman, and you can even stretch it because with Batman also. But like actually before off camera, we were saying how Batman sometimes tries so hard not to
He's taking
kill.
it to an extreme. Yeah.
Exactly. That sometimes people die because of that. Then you have Superman who have talked people out of suicide, and he's telling them, "I won't stop you. I promise. If you jump, I
Best
will not."
damned issue
Right? Oh my God.
ever.
Do you remember? Because we need to
Ever.
plug it right now. People have to read that. I've read it.
Yeah.
Basically, lady, quit really quick. Lady's about to kill herself. he goes over. He's like, "Listen, I understand it's hard, but I promise you, if you jump, I won't stop you." Because she's like, "Oh, you're gonna stop me? You're Superman." He's like, "No, I won't stop you. I want you for yourself to decide that you want to live." So
Seeing him crying, trying to
yes,
save her
oh my
life.
god.
Like, Deadpool actually did a parody of that.
Okay,
Here's the
I know
thing:
that.
it was actually done very well
Okay.
because he does something very similar, and he references that Superman comic. You know what I'm saying? And I've got it. One of these days, I'm just gonna have to do an explained of that particular issue because I'm gonna have to do both issues. You know what I'm saying? Back to back.
Definitely do it.
Good. At the end of that issue, though, Deadpool says, "Listen, in reality, we're finished screwing around and having fun and playing and whatnot, but I'm referring you to this hotline and this one thing over here, these people, because let's face it, I'm a clown. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and I'm not qualified to try and talk to you about, don't commit suicide. But yeah, this over here, holy crap." Um,
Yeah.
Lewis, is that an All-Star Superman #9? Am I remembering
Yes, All
correctly?
Stars. That's what it is. Thank you. It's All Star
Oh, you
Superman.
couldn't remember? I beat
No, I couldn't. That's
Lewis.
that's why I said before. Do you remember what issue it was? Because I
Oh,
thought
is that
it
what you
was.
said? Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was All Star, but I for some reason I want to say Action Comics, but then I remembered the art style,
Oh, that's
and then
Batman.
yeah, that's true. Not no, Action Comics. Yeah, I'm thinking right.
Oh, Action
Yeah,
Comics. Sorry, that's the
yeah,
other
not
Superman.
not
Okay, there.
Detective. Well,
All
anyways,
Star, not All
yeah, that's
Star.
All Star Batman. Yeah, that's something else.
Yes,
Um,
yes, All Star Superman. So yeah, and I think it was issue #9.
yeah,
Blubberstead was asking. Yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
Blubberstead. I think that was Deadpool issue it was 19 or 20 or 22. Those are the three numbers that are popping in my head right now of the
Hmm.
current series. Actually, we're on issue number 31. I just reviewed. I only reviewed 30 and 31 though. I didn't review Deadpool before that. Now they're doing Secret Empire. I'm on it, and if they can keep me, I'll continue doing the reviews for those also. Um, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you there, Blubberstead. He doesn't remember that, but it's in there and it's really good stuff. It was amazing stuff. Like I said, I think it's issue #9. Go online, and you're online now, and just do a quick little web search for
Yeah, you can actually
Superman
just Google
suicide
Superman
issue.
stops suicide and you will get it.
Yeah, Superman stuff
And
suicide. Yeah,
I got goosebumps reading it. Like I always reference that to this day to everybody I know. Like I sound
yeah. It's just such a powerful
yeah,
story.
I
It's
sound like
awesome.
a broken record. But anyways, what I was trying to connect to was the Superman versus the Elite because that's the way he is. So there's this
Yeah,
group of rogues, let's call them rogues, who they know they have powers. There's this girl who has a symbiote parasite in her who basically makes her look like a demon. A guy who is a magician and can pull whatever he wants out of his hat, and a guy who can control electromagnetic energies and could basically punch you with the power of a supernova exploding in your face, which actually
like
happens.
yes, like Batman Superman issue #4, I think it was, back in the early 2000s, where Hawkman hits him with that magnetic
Oh,
glove,
with the yes, I remember
pushed you
that.
with the earth.
Yep,
Like that was
I
just
remember that.
great. Knocked Superman out.
I love that moment. Let me tell you something. You know
Yeah,
what's better than watching Superman beat people? Watching somebody knock Superman out.
who you would not expect it to happen.
Exactly. It is beautiful.
Hawkman, I want you to know before you lose consciousness that I really tried. It's like, before I lose consciousness, you self-righteous
Boom.
prick. Doom, and that was also in the they rehashed that almost as well as the comic book.
Yeah.
In what movie was that?
Was it a DC movie?
Yeah, of course, it was a DC movie.
Superman Batman Public Enemies, was it?
Public Enemies.
Yes, that's
Bang,
what it was.
nice,
Yes, that's what it was.
nice one.
Yeah.
One of my favorite records when I was
Yeah.
growing up.
I could probably reach for it and show it
uh,
to you guys, but I'll go in a minute.
I bet you could. But Manchester Black is a current Blubberstead. I think he would have beaten us all if
Hmm.
what do you call it? Yeah, see, he was like, I won. Anyway, what do you call it? Nice one. You get that brownie points, buddy.
Good
But
job, stud. You get 1,000 points. But this is like whose line is it, anyways? But here.
so Manchester Black is actually the current enemy in I was just revealed 2 weeks ago in Action Comics.
There you go.
So if you guys want to see who he is, He's there, and he's pretty much doing the exact same thing. He's doing the exact same thing where he's trying to convince Superman that he's outdated because he won't kill.
Yep.
So that's pretty much the purpose of all this. This was actually a very similar take on Kingdom Come. Kingdom Come, that Elseworlds, probably one of the greatest
Amazing
Elseworld
story.
comics ever.
Amazing story.
Another Elseworld comics is actually The Killing Joke, and that's the #1 selling comic book graphic novel in the history of comic books. It's been #1 forever. People are always finding out about that and buying that. So Kingdom Come is probably second.
Yeah.
Right up there fighting for first place. But it is what it is. That was the one where Barbara Gordon became a paraplegic because Joker shot her in the spine.
Yeah.
Sick. So.
And then the way that ends, you don't know if Batman broke the Joker's neck. You don't know if he's still alive. I just like that ending. I like that ending a lot.
It's all just Grant Morrison's interpretation of Alan Moore's work.
Yeah. And I gotta say though, the DC animated movie, while we're at it, I did not like it. I did not like the version of the movie. But that's not here nor there. I just wanted to throw it out there.
Yep, Blubberstead knows what he's talking about. And dude, I think that you'd like that. Read what Blubberstead just said.
Hold on, thought. He's a little more sinister.
He's trying
to tame new Superboy and raped her and that. Oh, yep. Well, it is implied.
Lavoyer, that's subjective. Maybe he did.
Yeah,
I personally am one of those people who believe that he did, but there are plenty of people who are like, no. But yeah,
I think
there was a lot
what's
of
implied is that
raping happening in the comics at that time.
He did a whole bunch of things to her, a lot of ungodly things, but they're not shown. But it is clear by who the perpetrator is, the Joker, that it was not pretty for her at all.
Honestly, considering that it's Joker, I know nobody's ever said this before, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody came along, if Alan Moore came along and says, "Oh yeah, I actually meant for him to rape Commissioner Gordon." Also, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's how sick.
It's so open-ended that you don't know what happened. Like even in that panel where you see all the pictures of naked Barbara, you don't know what pictures we weren't shown. You don't know what pictures he took. Maybe pictures of them together naked. I mean, he's such a psychopath that you never know. But that's for another podcast. Because also I could talk for hours about The Killing Joke.
Forget about it. But so Manchester Black is basically Mangog was the main character, the main bad guy there, but he was actually technically a good guy, but he would kill people. So the public started thinking, you know what, you older superheroes, you're not worth it anymore. You know what I'm saying? You won't do what needs to be done. You're capturing people, you're giving them over to the authorities, but they're super powered characters. You're not putting him in some superpowered jail. You're putting him in some whatever jail, regular jails, and they're escaping and they're coming back and they're killing people again. And you care more about their lives than you care about our lives because you're letting them kill us. Need this guy, Mad Gog, to go out there. And there was a Justice League comic that had come out for a while, this series, where it was the origin of Mad Gog, which was really good. But there was Justice Society. But that's basically the premise of Justice League. And it was also the major grand return of Captain Marvel, who's now called Shazam, by the way. But Billy Batson. But that's basically the premise of Superman and the Elite. And that was in the comics also.
By the way,
and they're doing it here.
DC win that battle, but they still chose to change the name?
What do you mean? They won the battle against Wiz Comics only because Wiz Comics Wiz Comics was actually Fawcett Comics. Wiz Comics was the name of the comic that Shazam was in, Captain Marvel was in, but the name of the comic company itself was Fawcett Comics. And no, they lost both times they went to court. They lost. But the third time they were trying to go to court and still through litigation, that was around the time right before the Silver Age, where they were just like, you know what, I don't think that comics are going to work anymore. If they just would have stuck around for 3 or 4 more years, the Silver Age of comics had come back.
Nice.
The most famous example of Silver Age comics is Barry Allen Flash.
Okay.
Flash. That's what is that? All Star Comics issue number 4, I think it was. I think it was All Star. Anyway, there was that, and then at around the same time, the Fantastic Four showed up. So both of those are considered, more the Flash, but both of them are considered. Hey, look, boom. the Silver Age is here. Like comics are back. After
Yeah.
the World War II and in between World War II and 50s. So excuse me, you got that. But the thing, they were going through all those litigations. Marvel had swooped in and taken the name Captain Marvel. So they bought the logo, the copyright of the logo, but DC won the trademark of the other one because in the
That's what it
litigation,
was.
yeah, the main thing is that what's his name? DC's Fawcett Comics said, okay, such amount of money, get off our back, shut up, leave us alone. I'm really upset at DC for that, but I'm upset at lots of companies for lots of different things.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, and we promise that we won't make them again. So when the Silver Age did come back, Fawcett Comics was still around, and they had other characters, but they only really had one powerful character. DC had lots of different characters. They got a bunch of characters from a bunch of different companies. DC Comics was by itself, and there was Action Comics over here and over there. They all became one huge conglomerate, single entity, like an umbrella corporation. So that's one of
Uh-oh.
the reasons why they were able to succeed. Because even though the number one comic character of all at the time was Captain Marvel, Shazam, DC had more second tier characters, and they were barely considered second tiers. They were still first tier. It's just Captain Marvel was the number one hero over, and he was over in a different company. But all these other amazing comics and characters were over in DC. So eventually, of course, like a war of attrition, one guy can't win the entire basketball team. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You need an actual team to play, and DC had a team. So, including the Justice League, that was a team.
I see
So,
what you did there.
you like that?
I
So,
like that.
Black basically comes along. I'm not even going to say what. I'm just jumping right back in. Manchester
No,
Black
go right
comes
for it.
along and he says, "Listen, you're out of date. You're out of touch. We need more characters, quote unquote, like the Punisher." Okay, he doesn't actually say that. I'm saying that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Characters like the Punisher. You're not willing to kill. Nobody likes you anymore. Nobody cares about you anymore. So Superman decides to teach them a lesson. And this is where I said I was going to return back to the overpower idea. This is
Hmm.
where him being overpowered is actually a very cool thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, before we get to that, I want to mention that people were starting actually to praise Manchester Black, and he was actually in outer space, and he heard a little boy saying, "Oh, I don't want to be Superman," because they were playing superhero, and he was like,
That's right.
"Oh, I don't want to be Superman. I want to be Manchester Black," and this hits him,
Yeah,
because
it's
he's
not fair because you guys can kill and I can't. Like
yes,
the Warrior
yes,
says,
thank
like
you.
Red Hood.
That was exactly what the kid said. And then they were like, because they were making fun of him. He was like, "No, you're Superman. You can't kill. What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Oh, then I want to be Manchester Black." Blah 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 blah. And this hits him in a way that it's like, okay, so these kids are going to look up to this person now who actually kills. And think about it. It's Superman doesn't kill, and he's been fighting against killing. Because the whole problem was quickly the atomic skull was out breaking havoc, and basically he escapes after Superman gets out, and the atomic skull kills somebody under Superman's while Superman's fighting him, and Manchester Black just kills him, like boom. And Superman tries to stop him, but he fails. So Superman realizes that the only way to stop them is to actually fight them. So this is when we get to the main part of the movie, which is them fighting in one of the moons of Jupiter, which I'm forgetting the name right now. But basically,
Was it?
what it is. Thank you. That
Wait,
was it. I think it
Titans
was
of Saturn, is it?
I don't know.
Uh,
It was a familiar name, but it's just not coming to my head right now.
oh,
And
maybe it was Europa. Anyway,
I could Google it real quick, but and
deal.
what was trying to get because they wanted to fight in Metropolis, and Superman was like, "Yeah, I don't think so. We're gonna go fight up there real quick." And Superman is fighting them, and they're beating him supposedly. And there's this point when the character that I mentioned before, um, who can control telemagnetic, the one who can punch you with the power of a supernova exploding in your face, pretty much. he punches him just like that with the power of a supernova going up on your face. And then you think that he's done, you know? And then we get this point where Superman becomes kind of just an entity for about 10 minutes. And that's the best way I can explain it. Would you explain it that way? Like he kind of just...
I will explain it that I've got the Sentry toy up there. You know how the Sentry, Bob, will suddenly turn into the Void at any moment.
Yep, that's right. That's perfect.
Superman pretty much went full Void.
Yep.
But seemingly, he was fully in control of his powers, but he acted like he's like, okay, that's the way you want to play this. Let's do it.
He acted like they broke him. So basically, what happens is he makes it seem like he kills everybody. He makes it seem like he kills the Hat.
Saving Manchester Black for last.
Yep, saving him for last. And that matchup actually happens in Metropolis. So Superman, it's like, oh, I finally see it. I have to be something else, blah, blah, blah. And the whole time you're like, holy crap, Superman lost it. Because
he's actually saying, you're right. You were right about me. I need to become more like you. And this is what happens.
Yeah, the way they draw him, his left eye is all bloody. It's like he popped like all sorts of blood vessels in there, and he has one eye completely red. And then one eye is regular, and he's torn up because, you know, he was just punched with the strength of a freaking supernova. But he's going at it, and Manchester Black is trying to hold a telekinetic attack to make sure that he doesn't break through. Boom, 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 boom. And Manchester Black is like, oh my God, you know, he sees himself cornered. And what we see next is Superman choosing an alternative rather than killing, because what he does is I believe the word is lobotomize. Yeah. He lobotomizes with his heat vision. And then he just stops. He can't use his powers anymore. And he's like, what happened? And then Superman goes in this really nice speech. He's like, simple. I use my and again, overpowered. This is when it comes handy, like you were saying before. Oh, I use my X-ray vision and I look for anomalies in your brain. And when I saw it, I used my heat vision with precise precision. Pardon the repetition, but with precise target aiming, and I removed it with my heat vision. And then he's just like...
So, of course, he's also using his eidetic memory, which he has, because he's memorized the way that a brain should look, so he knows an anomaly, because that's not supposed to be there.
Yep, and he just think of it, kind of like, if you guys remember the show Heroes, remember the character Sylar? He used to steal something from their brain so he could get their powers, kind of like that.
Yep. Probably the pituitary gland, but yes, he would notice is like, I see what's wrong with you. I can fix you, and then he takes it for himself. Exactly. Lavoie is funny. He's in the comments right now. He's like, "Holy crap, that's scary, man."
Oh yeah. If you haven't watched that movie, man, I highly recommend
the Elite. It's an amazing. I believe it's on Netflix. It is amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Superman is OP, but he shows he's like, you know, because what he makes it look like he killed the other guys. He actually uses his super speed and grabs them and puts them in a preconditioned super cell.
Yep.
You know, so he's keeping them prisoner.
Yep. That's it. Like you actually see what happens. Like they show you later, like, oh, because Manchester Black is like, oh, whatever, you still kill, blah blah blah, and Superman's like, actually. And then he does like the whole revamp of what happened. Like he injected the girl. I always forget her name. All I know is that she's of Puerto Rican descent. The girl who has the symbiote.
Oh yeah, I don't remember any of their names. I actually, like we talked about before, I actually haven't seen this in about 4 years. I was showing this to one of my buddies when I was over in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
I was showing this to one of my buddies over there. Because he just never really read comic books, so I showed him a bunch of the DC superhero movies. He's like, "Oh my god, this is life."
I think her name is Meganeer or something like that. This is what Google's telling me. Cool. I may be wrong, but in any case, excuse me. So you see that he actually injected her with something that canceled the symbiote, and then she just passed out. Oh, and another thing that you can see in this movie real quick is that this girl is like heavily sexy innuendos thrown at him the whole time. And Superman is married to Lois Lane, and he's like, well, and there's this part where she kisses him, and Lois gets really jealous. But that's like a side thing that happens that it's really cool to watch.
Good stuff, though.
Yeah, but going back to what we're actually discussing, and then you find out what actually happened, and then Superman was making the whole thing up the whole time. He never lost it. He just wanted to prove a point.
Yeah, yeah. That sense of, basically showing like, what you were going to, that feeling that you felt when you figured that you were about to die, that I was about to kill you. Is it fair that anybody feels that?
Oh
You know what
no,
I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that was
absolutely.
a heck of a, a thing to point out. Um, so here, the Boyar wants to know our opinion on the Injustice 2 plot.
Aha.
Um, First off, if you go over and check out the Geek Fortress on YouTube, Lewis actually does a full playthrough of the story
I do.
for both versions, the good and the bad,
Yep.
meaning the Batman and the Superman versions of the of that video game, and he gives commentary all throughout, and it's pretty freaking cool. You never, Blovis said, never wanted Superman to die so badly.
I
That's
know. No, I
funny.
agree. I agree. I agree 100%. He's such
Yeah,
a dick in that game, in that
yeah,
universe. It's ridiculous.
yep.
But yeah,
And
what?
I make my own commentary on his video in the comments below. I make a comment on all those videos too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched all the playthroughs through. They were actually really good. So you can actually check out Lewis's opinion there as they're going, as he's going through. Really good stuff. And yeah, sick, sick. Um, like, I don't even know what to say. I didn't read Injustice 2. I haven't been reading that, but Injustice 1 I did read, and for the comic book series, and absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Instead,
It's.
running over to your channel.
Yeah.
Wait until this one finishes, darn it.
I mean,
But no,
I'm doing that. I'm also doing Outlast 2. If you like scary games, I finished Resident Evil 7 as well. And my first
yeah,
one was Resident Evil 4, which was like my first one, so it's probably really bad. But I'm sorry, I'm not gonna take it away because that's just how it started. But I think you will like it.
yeah.
But
I
to
did watch
quickly,
your call it your Resident Evil 7 all the way through.
yes, yes,
You guys have seen me commenting many times in those
yes,
comments, and yeah, you getting scared. Some of
yeah.
those scenes are just so perfect.
There's some parts that I'm just such a little girl, and I'm not ashamed to admit it because
Uh,
I've thrown the controller, I've dropped my headset. Just in the newest one that I uploaded for Outlast 2, man, there's this part that I just, dude, I needed a break. I was like, nope, this is
you said you just put up the latest episodes of Outlast. You doing the playthrough through
yes,
Outlast?
yes, I
All right.
just did that last night. But anyways, without any
No,
more
not anyways.
plugging,
What's the next video game you're planning on doing?
okay, so the next one that I have in mind to do is Prey. For those of you guys who know, it's kind of like a Dead Space meets any shooter. I wouldn't say Bioshock. It takes place in space. For those of you guys who have played Dead Space, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But Prey, PS4, I'm gonna be playing that soon. I'm also trying to do the original Outlast, but I don't know yet. I don't know yet because I'm trying to do a speedy run through, see how quickly I can do it. Now
Hmm.
that I know where everything is, so maybe that would be a challenge that I might do.
See, the reason why I like your playthroughs is because I don't actually play video games anymore.
Okay.
The last video game that I played and beat was Halo 3.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So we're
because
talking like, wow. Okay.
yeah, the girl I was with at the time, you remember her?
Yes.
She loved the Halo one, so she got me into Halo, all that good stuff. So I played the first Halo, and I played and beat the first Halo, played and beat the third Halo, played the second Halo, never actually finished playing it, but it is. So where is Geek Fortress? Geek Fortress on YouTube, 2 words, and Geek Fortress on. In fact, yeah, I had it in the
Make sure
original.
when you type, just make sure you tap the Geek Fortress because there is another channel just called Geek Fortress, which I think they do like board games and stuff. But it's their
How dare
Geek
they?
Fortress, and make sure you look for the picture of the castle. It's like a castle or a fortress with big glasses, with big geeky glasses. That's us.
Why am I not able to? Okay, there we go. My sidebar wasn't there. I didn't actually put it in this one. It was in the original one. It wasn't here. So Dave from Nerdicky makes a really freaking good point. Where is the Geek Fortress? So I had it in the original video in the descriptions. I don't have it here. So allow me to.
Yeah,
see if I can't do it
it's
in the
funny, true,
description right
mate.
now.
To reply to your usurper things, because I actually bought the domain now for the geekfortress.com in case they ever try to make a website or something. So now the domain is mine.
Oh, you just did that? Cool.
Yeah, yeah. I actually, because my cousin, he's into like advertisement and stuff. He's like, don't waste any time. It's only like this much a year. Buy it. Buy. I mean, it's not copywritten yet, but the guy was like, buy it, and I was like, okay.
See, there's already a comic book university. Um, there's an actual physical location in the States.
Oh, really?
So I could so like I could genuinely care less
Okay.
about copywriting it. I'm literally just doing my thing on YouTube, and I will eventually do what do you call it? Dave from Nerdarchy coincidentally yelled at me like, dude, you need to get the domain name and this and this and this, and well, the domain name has already been taken. So he's the one who pointed out. It's like, damn, it's already been taken. But the
Wait,
thing
how
is
about
that
CBU? Can you do something like
it
that?
doesn't all done, already done. But the thing about it
Okay.
is, what do you call it? I don't even want to really get into it because who cares? The idea is that if I were to call it, for a good time call.com, I'd be telling people to go to it and people would go to it because I've
Yep.
already established myself here. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
it
true.
doesn't matter what I call it.
That's true. That's true.
Geek Fortress. Geek. I just called Geek Fortress. Bang. Yeah, let me just make sure I put you up here in the pages so that people can see it because.
Yeah, don't forget the.
Oh, come on, man. So keep talking while I'm doing this.
But anyways, yeah, guys. But I think you guys will like the channel a lot. It's we do a lot of unboxings. Actually, we have a special release today because I do this series called Comic Book Quickies. Similar to what it is, the Professor Bill's 1 minute reviews. Not the 1 minute reviews. I do that. 1 minute comic books characters explained.
Explained in a minute, you bum.
Explain in a minute. Thank you. Copyright that shit. And what I do is I do reviews for movies in 1 minute. That's what I do. I review movies in 1 minute. So they call 1 minute reviews for this or for that. I do movies, I do video games, and I think I've done one wrestling event, which I also did. I think in the Royal Rumble of the year that just passed. Or was it this year? I don't remember. Because we also do wrestling. Why not? I love wrestling. I don't know if you guys do, but I've loved wrestling all my life. And movies in a minute. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we do. So basically, we recently did Pirates of the Caribbean 5. That is my latest one. It's up on the page. And they're all divided in playlists. So if you guys want to go check it out, all the support's appreciated, guys. And we love doing what we do. And as long as you guys love it, we're going to keep doing it.
All right. So, yeah, I wound up doing a while ago. I did Nightwing Explained in a minute. Today, I put out, usually every Tuesday and Saturday, I put out an Explained in a Minute video where in approximately a minute, sometimes takes a little longer if it's an older character, I will try and explain inside of it because people don't have all day to hear about a character being explained. They just see a movie and they go, oh, that was amazing, and they want to learn about the character. So I put up a minute review. You can watch my video and you have enough of the comic book history of this character you just saw in the TV series or in the movie or whatever, and you're good to go at that point. So thank you, Lavoyer. I did love the Mosaic one, and both creators actually thanked me on Twitter, and on the video itself, the artist actually thanked me. He then removed his comment really quick, so he doesn't have too many people joining that particular YouTube page because it's his private YouTube page. But yeah, I did get to see it. So yeah, I like doing that. I like when creators come back and comment on me. David Cumley of Captain Canuck. I actually had an interview with him not too long ago, and he thanked me.
I really enjoy that.
Yeah, even though I
didn't
completely
know
screwed
about
up the
that
video.
character.
My internet
it
was
was
crap
still pretty
that day,
great.
but
I still I didn't know about that character until that day. So
really, actually, he thought, because when I met him, I told him I was in New Jersey. I was from New Jersey, so he thought that I was just here to visit. So I went back. You press your date with the sick comic lore. Well, exactly. You're making a fun about that, but the fact is that the current pop culture today is comic books.
Yep.
Comic book, like pop culture today, is comic books. That's the #1 movie, the #1 box office draw that you're going to see, the #1 TV show that you're going to see. Like, it's always about the comic books everywhere you go. References to comic books, everything. They've even got pressure on these stuffy old white guys in
Yep.
Hollywood with the Oscars and whatnot. They're just like, okay, you know what? We're going to have to start acknowledging these guys because they're
Yeah.
getting pissed
You know
off
what?
at
As a
us.
matter of
And
fact, I'm gonna say something and
it's
quote me on
relevant.
this one. Geeky is
I know
the
it wasn't
new
the war yet.
sexy. Geeky is the new sexy. I'm telling you, it's
Really?
it's what we are. We're sexy. We're sexy beasts.
I know I'm sexy. I mean, I pull all the honeys.
Now there you go.
But what do you call it? No, Lavoyer, I know it wasn't sarcasm. But what do you call it? No, like I'm saying genuinely that yes, you can, I don't know about impressing your date, but for real, like you can genuinely, like you're the in crowd nowadays.
Yeah.
When I was going through high school, Lewis, you went like what, 10 years after me or something like that. But
About
when
you.
I was going through high school, this Spider-Man shirt that I'm wearing, I couldn't wear that in high school. And I was a popular kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was the guy who got kicked off of the football team because I was too violent.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that, I'm not saying I'm a violent guy, but like, I didn't understand the difference between grabbing someone and throwing to the ground or an actual tackle. I couldn't get that through my head. I was in the martial arts since I was 8, like, a very tall guy, you know what I'm saying? I would talk to women would talk to me, always filled with confidence. I never had any problems with popularity in high school. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
I was on the track team. I was in the weightlifting team. Well, not weightlifting team. I was in the weightlifting after school program. Like, I was out there all the time. I'm the guy. I threw the shot put. I did the discus, and I ran cross country. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was cool. You know what I'm saying? I was one of those cool guys.
Yeah.
But it was a hidden secret thing that I liked comic books.
Yeah.
And I would talk to those people, but I would never talk to them in school because I just didn't have that level of confidence. I remember my buddy Terrell and we got into a fight this one time. We got into a fight in school. All right. He actually picked up a chair to hit me with a chair. And I'm like, bring it on. You know what I'm saying? And just like, we actually got in trouble. We got in school suspension for this. You know what I'm saying? We got an in school suspension. Worst thing, I might have been squirting with a war gun and he was in a bad mood. But whatever. Like, we're friends, and friends fight sometimes, when you're a young boy full of testosterone. So we got in school suspension and we weren't talking to each other. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm over with my kid, my guys, he's over with his guys, you know what I'm saying? And then at one point, he comes and sits down next to me. He's over on my left-hand side, and he puts his backpack on the table. We're just like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, and I'm just like, I don't really think I want to talk to this guy. I'm still pissed off at him. He got me in school suspension. He got me in ISS. I'm so pissed off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He opens up the top flap of his comic book and Freudian slip. Opens up the top flap of his backpack, and a bunch of X-Men comics slide out. And I'm like, oh.
You're one of us.
No. We were always cool with comic books. We always talked. We used to play
okay.
Marvel superheroes role-playing games and stuff like that. I
Nice.
knew that we knew that we were both into comic books, but it's the idea that he had to let them slip out.
Yeah.
We didn't read them in the in school suspension. That wouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? That couldn't possibly happen. But he did. He pulled them out to show. I brought my comic books. I brought my X-Men's. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like,
nice.
And this was long before Jerry Maguire came out, but I was just like, you had me at uncanny. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. Like, that was the bond that that we had.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And a whole bunch of us. I actually miss hanging out with Terrell, thinking about that. Damn it.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
but, like,
some of my best friendships
but, like,
have
this was a
started
bond
because of comic books.
That is, saying, like, how many friends have started because of a common relationship with that's why when somebody like me would go into a comic book store, like, I got a lot of hate from people. I actually got a lot of the kids in there who didn't like me because they knew me as the popular, not the popular. I wasn't like Mr. all that, but I could walk down the halls and people, hey Bill, what's going on? Bill, hey Bill, what's going on? Like, people knew me, so I was a popular kid. And if I walked in the comic book store, that was their domain here. Saying they would never say it, of course, but you'd get those dirty looks, and then eventually it'd be like, he's in here every single Wednesday, and often on the weekends. Is he one of us? Is he a secret nerd? Could it be? Yeah, I was a secret nerd. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the comic book stuff. That's what like, that's the stuff I grew up on. But I was always I was always full of confidence, but I never had the confidence to to express it in in school, because that would have been, maybe I could have gotten people into it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but that was the thing. So today, the idea that people can walk into school with comic book T-shirts, everybody's seen the latest, Marvel movie or the DC movie. Today, Monday. Once Monday shows up, people are gonna be, talking about. I wonder if people are still gonna be able to talk about Wonder Woman, even though it's a girls' movie. But
Nah.
they're gonna be talking about.
Oh
it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's I want to just really quick go back to your Nightwing explain in a minute, because I'm gonna see your Nightwing explain in a minute.
Well, that's
And
the thing, man. Like, you sit there and you say that you're a Nightwing fan, all right? You say that you're a Nightwing fan, but I put up a Nightwing video, explained in a minute, and you don't have anything up with Nightwing. So what's up with that?
Well, my good sir, that was my poker phrase, because I'm about to race you Nightwing comic book quickie, my good sir. In your own words, push.
You just did it?
I just did it. Nightwing comic book quickie is up right now. It's
How long is it?
Season 2, episode 1. It's about 8 minutes. My comic book quickies usually run between 8 to 10 minutes, depending on the character. But it's my season premiere, and I'm glad to share it with you guys right here.
Nice. So right now, Lewis is doing a new thing. He always does a comic book quickie. They're not particularly quick, but he's doing his comic book quickie thing. And what do you call it? While I do a very, very concise history, give you exactly what you need to know to get you started or to reminisce about Nightwing or some other character, what Lewis does is he'll take about 8 minutes and really get into depth and share a lot of humor also with his characters when he's explaining them in his comic book quickies. So he just now put up make donuts edible. Oh, yes. Yes, I might actually go to Tim Hortons, and y'all don't know nothing about Tim Hortons because I'm in Canada and you're not. It's basically the Dunkin' Donuts of Canada. But anyway, recently bought by Burger King. Go figure. Corporatism in the TPP.
For real.
So
Danny Trejo just opened a donut shop. Just funny trivia right there. I just wanted to throw it out there. I love that guy.
That's funny. That's funny. Wow. So what do you call it? The idea is that he'll put up this comic book quickie and you'll get a whole bunch of cool information and a couple of good laughs also. See if you can spot when Mick Foley.
Oh yeah.
Do you have Mick Foley in this one?
Maybe. You'll have to watch it and see.
You damn well better, man. You damn well better. But anyway, sorry, Lavoyer.
Wait. Does this mean that we're showing off our dicks?
We are doing. We did. I know that we do dick videos once in a while, or dick pics, but now it's a dick video.
Now it's a dick video. Oh boy.
That's right. These are dick videos.
Oh,
so
boy.
We're showing off our dicks.
Hey, Bill.
So now we
Bill.
our dicks on video.
Hey, Bill. Mine is longer.
What's up? I hate you so much right now. the seething that I have for you right now, you should be able to feel it momentarily.
I do. I felt a stab on my shoulder, actually. Oh, man.
Anyway.
Much love. I love
check
you,
out
man.
our Dick Grayson videos.
I love you guys. Oh, man. That was great. I had to. I'm sorry. I had to. I'm the Chandler of the group. I had to.
I knew where you were going to, and as quick as I couldn't think of a way out of it. I'm just like, just take the hit. Just take it.
You fell right for it, too. You just took that bite. I love it. Oh, that was great. That was amazing.
Oh, man.
I'm going to go back and repeat that 7 times later.
That's going to be your infinite loop.
It is.
So anyway, all that aside, yeah, so go and make sure, guys, seriously, go and check out the Geek Fortress. It's really good stuff. Join on Facebook, like subscribe on the YouTube. Join on Facebook. I'm there all the time. I'm constantly talking crap. I'm planning on putting up some good stuff today. I want to actually have an in-depth conversation about, I'm going to put it up probably right after I hang this up. What do you guys have, boys being boys? Well, girls do it too. The thing is that there's what they're comparing sizes to, you can't hide in your pants.
Boobies.
Just saying, women do it. Women do it.
Yep.
So they'll admit to it.
Yep.
But what do you call it? I'm actually going to do a conversation on the Geek Fortress today about who do you think, like if this were real life, who would you rather have protecting your city, Batman or the Punisher?
Oh boy, I like that one.
Yeah. Right. So I'm actually about to go
is
put that up
great.
in a little bit. A little more here. But Yeah, so real talk, like that's what I wanted. That's what I'm going to put up after I hang this up. About to hang this up right now. And then, guys, also, I don't know if Dave is still in the chat, but regardless, after you go and you subscribe to to Geek Fortress on YouTube and ask for permission to join the Geek Fortress, Lewis or I or one of the other moderators will accept you. It's cool.
Yes, sir.
Don't forget that at 2 o'clock there's a Nerdarchy podcast. They're going live, guys. I don't know how into Dungeons and Dragons you guys are, or into role playing games in general, but like I'm going to solicit for them absolutely. Nerdarchy
You know,
actually got invited, like the king of all kings of um, podcasts for things that are Dungeons and Dragons or role playing related is Matt Mercer and the group like that. That's a what do you call it? Critical Role Play. All those big things out there. Will Wheaton, who played Wesley
Wesley
on
Crusher.
Wesley Crusher. That's right, on Star Trek: The Next Generation. He's a part of this. These guys invited Dave, not just Dave, invited all of the Nerdarchy crew, so the three Nerdarchists, to go out to California and to film and to do an interview with them. And it's really, really good stuff. At least watch the the superhero game that Bill is running. Well, absolutely, go and check. If you guys aren't subscribed to Nerdarchy, I don't know what you're doing, because that's some seriously good stuff. And again, I really do run a game every Thursday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So that's New York time or Toronto time, whatever. That what do you call it? And Lavoie is pointing that out. I actually run a game for several Nerdarchy members of Marvel superheroes role playing games. So if you want to see how good my imagination is in running guys on something like this, then by all means, please go and check that out every Thursday. It's on Nerdarchy. It's just Nerdarchy. You can go to nerdarchy.com. I write an article for them every single Monday. Yes, Lavoie, they're coming out to California. I even said just yesterday in the podcast, because I'm playing a game with them on Fridays, that yes, they're going out there, so you should try and meet up with them. Absolutely, try and get a selfie, all that good stuff. um, Nate, Ted, and Dave are planning on going out there, and they've got a GoFundMe up right now also to try and get them out there. Apparently, YouTube, there was a 20% drop in advertiser pay and things like that. So what do you call it? Some of these guys actually, they're doing what they can, but they've got a GoFundMe set up. They're already, it's been less than a week now. They're already at 25% of what they need. I donated what I could. If anybody could donate what they can to try and get those guys out there, because it would be a really seriously amazing thing. And you know what? Tell them that while they're out there to mention Comic Book University on that incredible format right there, and maybe get a couple more people showing love my way. I'm just saying, maybe mention the Geek Fortress, but
I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm
okay,
just,
good.
No. I'm
But
still here. I'm just checking because I actually have to go watch Wonder Woman, so I have to leave in like 10 minutes. But I did subscribe to Nerdarchy, and I will be
Nice.
able to watch the podcast live because I'm going to be watching Wonder Woman, but I'll catch it later. And I did want to check out those games that you manage. I do want to check that out as well. And also, I
manage the game on Thursdays, and I just play the game on Fridays.
Okay,
both
I've
of them
always
at 12
wanted
o'clock Eastern
to
Standard
get
Time.
into Dungeons and Dragons, but I've never had the opportunity somebody sit me down and be like, "This is how you do it," But I love role playing, so maybe
Anything
someday.
you need to learn about Dungeons and Dragons, you can learn on Nerdarchy. That's real
Perfect.
talk. That's
Perfect.
real
So
talk.
I'll be checking it out. That's awesome. But I just want to real quick just do a closing statement. Superman, the Man of Tomorrow, whether you love him or you hate him, I think we have to thank his creation, because believe it or not, directly or indirectly, he has inspired so many other characters. And whether you like
all
him,
superheroes.
oh yeah, whether you like him or not, he's the granddaddy. Sorry guys, it's true.
It is what it is. It is what it is. It's known. Anyway, so the family's home. The family is home. You got to go, dude. Guys, next week, check us out. Next week, same bad time, same bad channel. We're going to be talking about.
Thank you,
cool,
Truman. I will.
We're actually going to be having the podcast next week at 10 o'clock. Also, podcast number 26, and we're going to be talking about the Wonder Woman movie. So I may go and see it again. Lewis, you're about to see it now. I already saw it last night, but
yeah. Wonder Woman. Yeah, I'll be watching it right now.
Everybody's doing that.
I'll text you right after I watch it so that we can talk about it. Maybe we can get a discussion going on the Geek Fortress. following me watching the movie, guys, by the way, probably by tonight, I want to say 6 p.m. Eastern Time, New York time, I will have a 1-minute review of Wonder Woman up as well.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
if
I
you
figured
guys
by
just want to
tonight.
watch. Yes,
And
sir.
don't
I'll
text
probably.
me, FaceTime me. I hate doing the little tiny. My
Okay.
hands are too big
I'll
for
FaceTime
this
you.
phone.
I got you. Yeah, I got
To
you.
these
No
phones.
problem. Okay, man. Sounds good. But thank you, guys. I
All
love
right.
you guys. You guys are awesome. Stay awesome and geek on, guys. Be safe.
Absolutely. And guys, Professor Bell, Comic Book University, class dismissed.